What's going on, guys? Today we are talking race strategy because I have a race coming up. I signed up for the Hilton Head Marathon back in like November, December time, and it was like a week after I had just finished the Charlotte Marathon. And I was like, all right, let's do another. And had, full intentions of doing that race. But what happened was, after the Charlotte Marathon, I had a lot of pain in my IT band and like the outside of my knee. I actually had to like go to the doctor, all this stuff. And basically that took me out of the ability to run for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks almost actually. And so, through that whole time I was like trying to run, but it would hurt too bad, so I wouldn't run. And then like probably by me running through that time, like trying to run, it just, prolonged the injury. And the doctors, what they said was it was just like a stressed IT band and it was really tight. So through all that, I wasn't able to actually, train as much as I would have wanted to for the Hilton Head Marathon. And I got to like the start of 2020, like right around January, and I still hadn't really been able to train as much as I'd like. And through that, I decided, all right, instead of the marathon, I'm gonna run the half marathon with a goal of, PRing, getting a good time for the half marathon. With all of that said, I want to talk about my strategy and my goals for the Hilton Head Half Marathon in 2 days. Goal number 1 is to PR. Goal number 2 is to get under 135 for the entire race. So, if I can do that, I'd be pretty stoked. First off, just to level set everything, in order for me to run a 135 or below, I need to run right around a 7:15 minute per mile pace for the overall race. So, thinking back to the Charlotte Marathon, I finished the half distance of the race, 13.1 miles. I finished that in 1:36:40. So I wasn't, too far off. So that's why I think, if I push it a little harder, do what I can do, I might be able to get under that 135 time in the overall race. So here's my strategy. I set up a race companion kind of tracker to give me a negative split for the overall race. Now what a negative split is just what it sounds like. You start the race at a slower pace than what you finish, and all the miles throughout there are, constantly getting faster till the very end of the race. And I want to try to stick to those splits for each mile throughout the entire race. I think the first mile is right around 7:45 pace, and the last mile is just under 6 minute pace. And then, every mile from the start gets a little faster until the end. Now, what a negative split does is allow you to not go out too hard and blow up, but, kind of do the inverse. You go out slower and hopefully can keep getting faster and faster till the end, where you're, giving it a pretty good all-out effort and trying to hold on. So that's what I'm gonna do, because in every race that I've done, pretty much, I've done the inverse, right? I've gone out too hard and it's hurt me in the end. So I'm going out with a new strategy, see if I can stick to it. It's gonna be interesting because like I said, I've never tried to do a negative split race. The second goal is to practice my nutrition strategy for upcoming races in the remainder of the year. So the remainder of the year I have 2 half Ironmans. I want to try to do some sort of bike race, and then I have the full Ironman in September, and then I know I want to try to do a marathon at the very end of the year, like November, December time. So my goal is to practice my nutrition and see what works for me in this race. My nutrition strategy is this. First off, I hate gels. They really mess with my stomach, and I don't know why, but I just can't do them. So I'm not doing gels. Instead, I'm doing real food. And what that is, for me, is fig bars, baby. Fig Newtons are just like, I love them, and they sit well in my stomach, and they're a good source of carbs. So that's what I'm gonna use for the Hilton Head Half Marathon, is fig bars. Now, talking about those fig bars, how many am I gonna eat? My goal is to have 2 fig bars every 15 to 20 minutes throughout the race. Now, some of you might be like, dude, that's so much food. How are you supposed to do that? But for me, I burn a lot of calories and sweat a ton. And so, staying hydrated and staying up on my nutrition is what I need to do to, I think, execute a good race. So what I'm gonna do, and like I said, this is all kind of somewhat, me testing things out for, later in the year. but I'm gonna try to have around 100 calories every 20 minutes or so, and just do that throughout the whole race. So I'm gonna stick all those Fig Newtons like in a little bag, stick them in my pocket, and just start running, and take 2 of them, which is 100 calories, around every 20 minutes, and just see how it goes, right? This is all an experiment. And I know that you aren't supposed to really experiment in races, but this isn't like my A race. This isn't the race that I'm, most excited for, most trying to do well for in the whole year. So I think I can go out and try to experiment some and see what works and what doesn't. So the goal, like I said, Hilton Head Half Marathon, under 135, hopefully doing that by negative splitting the race. That would just be so sweet if I could do that. And then sticking to that 100 calories, 20 grams of carbs or so every 20 minutes, and we'll see how it goes, right? Like, you go out, you try your best, see what works, see what doesn't, and you come back to the drawing boards and, take the good for the next race, leave out the bad. That's what we're doing. So I'm gonna bring the camera for the race, gonna try to film as much as I can and see how much I stick to what I'm saying right now, right? Do I eat, instead of every 20 minutes, maybe I eat every 30 minutes and it screws me up, or maybe I eat every 20 minutes like I'm saying right now and it screws me up. We'll see in 2 days. And then, can I stick to this negative split, strategy that I've formulated for myself? And can I hit the pace that I'm trying to hit? It's all a big question right now, folks, but we're gonna answer it in 2 short days. I don't know why I went like this. 2 short days. Stick around. As you guys are watching this, it may be race day depending on when I get to the editing. It takes a little while to edit. And I got other things to do. But Hilton Head Marathon, Saturday, February 8th, coming to you live. Trying to stick to the nutrition strategy, trying to stick to the negative split pace strategy, and just trying to do our best, right? 135, 100 calories every 20 minutes. Let's freaking do it.